We think that the company has, sufficient liquidity or ample liquidity actually to handle this situation. At the end of 2018, they had more than $8.5 billion of cash. They have over more than $5 billion revolving credit facilities. So based on what we know now, we think that should be sufficient liquidity to handle any cash flow impact from this.
What starts getting you concerned? I mean, there have been reports, and granted these are reports, and this is still early stages, and a lot of these airlines that I'm about to mention have said that we are reviewing, whether or not to take delivery of these planes. We're reviewing proposals until, we know what comes out of the black box. But Garuda is thinking about its orders. Vietjet is, Kenya Airways, a Russian airway. Meantime, President Macron of France is touring Africa, and he's saying, you know what, you guys can buy Airbus. Ethiopia, China, buy Airbus.
Yes, well, I mean, that is true. And over time, if there is a perceived issue with this aircraft, that, orders could shift more to Airbus. But right now, both Boeing and Airbus are producing these narrow-body aircraft as fast as they can because the demand is so great. And Airbus really wouldn't, in the short term anyway, be able to, to increase capacity enough to offset any Airbus cancellations on Boeing aircraft, certainly in the next few years.
If there is a revenue interruption or a revenue reduction that is enduring, as we look live at Renton, Washington, where that plane is manufactured, if there's a revenue interruption at the very least, at what point does the credit rating of Boeing get called into question?
Yeah, no, it is hard to kind of put a specific number on it at this point. Right now, the key ratio that we look at for Boeing for the single A rating that we have on them is funds from operation to debt. And in 2018, it was at about 65%. And we've said that we would lower the rating if it gets down to 40%. So that's a pretty significant amount of cushion. So that would either be an increase in debt or a decrease in cash flow. So we think that there's a fair amount of room. So it's really, if it's settled the next couple of months, it's probably not a big issue. If we're looking at something much longer than that, then we'd have to reevaluate.